Why are languages spoken in the mountains so weird? There's actually some really strange linguistic trends that are really common in mountainous regions. So for instance, they have a lot more of these weird consonants called ejective consonants. The sound of these consonants is kind of like how Snape talks in the Harry Potter movies. So for instance, instead of saying tha, you'd say ta. These consonants require an extra boost of air, so it kind of makes sense that they'd be more common in mountainous regions. This is because there's lower pressure up in the mountains, which means that the air is less dense and it's easier to compress. This might make it easier to regularly produce sounds like pa. So there's actually a correlation between ejective consonants and mountain ranges. It could potentially just be a random correlation, but either way, if you go up in the mountains, you're going to hear these sounds more, on average. But another effect of mountains on language that's less disputable is isolation. Mountains can be hard to travel through, and they often create pretty strong barriers between different populations. So populations that live in the mountains or are surrounded by mountains are able to resist a lot of linguistic trends. So for instance, a lot of languages spoken today are related because a long time ago, one language spread across all the land and then split off into different languages. But they often didn't spread to places like mountains. So for instance, most languages in Europe are related as Indo-European languages, but not the Basque language, which is surrounded by mountains. This also goes for the languages of the Caucasus Mountains like Georgian or Abkhaz. These languages might be related to other Eurasian languages, but they've been isolated for so long that it's pretty hard to know. So mountains may lead to more ejective consonants, and they definitely lead to more isolation. And this isolation makes their languages seem so much more crazy to us because they're usually not related to non-mountain languages, or like languages outside of that isolated zone. So they'll often have different consonant clusters and grammar that we're not used to.